So in this video, I'd like to take you through taking photos that sell. This is part of one of the webinars that we run for all of our GeoSnapShot photographers, which are free of charge to attend if you want to. This is a cut down version of that. The webinar runs for approximately an hour, and I'll try and keep this video as short as I possibly can for one of your introductions to GeoSnapShot. So really the key in taking photos that sell is to understand the sport, take great photos, and upload them to the GeoSnapShot platform quickly for promotion. And really understanding the sport is about researching the sport before you go into it. You may be taking photos of a sport that you do know and are well acquainted with, and therefore you know the types of photos that people want from that sport. But if you don't know the sport, it's really useful to ask people that may be involved with the sport that you're going to shoot at the weekend. Ask people at the event itself or even the event organizer to give you some pointers on the types of photos that people might want from the event. Search for photos of the event on Google and on GeoSnapShot. You'll find a lot of GeoSnapShot photographers have probably covered the event already, so you can look for photos on there to see examples of that. And also, get to the event early. Find out about the event. Get there an hour beforehand and really understand where the light is from, and get yourself settled in. Even take some test photos before the action really begins. Obviously, as I said earlier, going to a sport that you know does have its benefits. You'll understand what shots people are after. You may well be able to get access to any sort of restricted areas because the event organizer will know that you're familiar with the sport. And you'll also sort of talk the language of the people at the sport. It's really important that you name your albums on GeoSnapShot appropriately for the audience. There's no point in putting an album up there that says all photos from the day and putting 2,000 photos in it. You've really got to break it down so that people can find their photos as easy and as quickly as possible. One of the main things at an event like this is don't panic. Often you find yourself in a situation where you're not perhaps getting the shots that you want. It may be a new type of event. You don't really know where to position yourself, or some of the camera settings may not be right. And really the best thing to do at that stage is to just stay calm, obviously keep checking the photos at the back of your camera, and if they're not right, then take a step back, quite literally, just walk away from the action for a while and sit yourself down and kind of go, why isn't this working? What's going on here? Is my lighting not right? Am I not using natural light to my favor? Is the background not right? Are my camera settings not right? What's not working for me, and then how can I make it work better? Sometimes, often actually, it really is about just taking some time away from the back of the camera, putting your head up, looking around, and just kind of going, oh, that might be a better spot over there, or I might be able to take some time to find out more. So don't panic. Be calm about the situation, take a step back, metaphorically and literally, and just really understand how you can do things a bit better. So what I'd like to go through now is some simple rules that you can get great shots from any type of event. Really, the first one is filling the frame. People want a memory of their achievements at the weekend, and putting them front and center of the frame is just absolutely paramount to the photo. These are just demonstration photos that I've got here. You'll find a lot more that we go through on our webinar, but as you can see on the left-hand side, it doesn't really depict anything. It doesn't tell a story. There's a group of kids, just running down a track. We haven't picked anybody out individually. Nobody's going to want that photo as as something they'll purchase from the weekend. Whereas on the right-hand side, obviously, I've narrowed down to the player that's got the ball. I've used the natural light quite nicely. He's looking directly at the camera, even though I'm some way away. He looks like he's going to pass it directly to me. Even the two people standing in the background are not a distraction to this particular photo, and it's very much one that would sell. So when people are looking at thumbnails as images, when they're scrolling through them, they want to be able to distinguish themselves in those thumbnails. So get photos that show them in action, and get photos that get them filling the frame. really look for moments of high emotion, and really timing is everything. So yes, as you can see here, we've got a couple of triathlon photos on the screen. And as you can see, people do play up to the camera as they come through the finish line, but often it's the moments just after the finish line which are the most poignant to capture. Often after somebody's scored the goal and is, has sort of celebrated, that's great. But then they have a let out of emotion after that. It may be a smile at a teammate, or a knowing look, or an arm around somebody, or somebody looking muddy and dirty and quite happy, as you can see on the right hand side here. So after a dressage test in equestrian, for example, after the nerves and the anxiety of the test are over, and they sort of bend down to pat their horse, there's often a lovely smile on their face, and they're close to the horse's head, which makes for a really nice portrait shot. So do look for moments of high emotion that might not always happen during the event itself. Do capture everyone at the event, and we understand that not all photos work out, and sometimes it's not possible to capture everyone, but try to. It really does enhance your sales from the event, and getting multiple exposures of people do sell. So multiple exposures of runners, equestrian, any type of event like that, people either have a choice of which photo they want, or they'll buy the whole lot. So really well worth doing that. As you can see here, a bit of a joke photo here where two GeoSnapShot photographers, are covering the same horse riding arena, show jumping arena in this case. This was set up as a bit of a joke photo. So you should always spread yourselves out if you've got multiple photographers at the event, so that you get maximum coverage for the participants. The lighting and background is absolutely paramount. So, really look at your surroundings. Never accept the first position that you come to an event, and that's why it's worth getting there early and knowing where the natural light is coming from. Getting good, clean backgrounds is just so important for sales at an event. So as you can see here in this shot, we've got cars in the background. I've seen toilet blocks in the background, the red and white bunting, which can be used quite a lot at races in the background, is hugely distracting to the photo that you're taking. So really, when you're looking at great photos, you'll always see that the person sort of pops out from the photo, and there isn't this distracting background. So always, always, always look at the photos on the back of your camera, and look at them in detail. Zoom into them. Are they in focus? Is the background okay? Is my natural lighting good? And then go from there. Culling and uploading. We have a separate video on culling and uploading. It's such an important part of the process of selling your photos. Getting back from an event and doing the minimum amount of culling time and editing time possible is absolutely imperative for you, and also for getting your photos online as quickly as possible for people to buy them. So try and get it right in the camera. Have a fast process for culling and uploading, which we've got a separate video on, and be proud of yourself with your photos. Only upload photos that you're really, really pleased of, and you'll find that your photography improves the more and more you do these events with GeoSnapShot. So that's the end of our video today. Thanks for watching. There's lots of other videos on our website, and really encourage you to go to our Learn and Develop area to watch those, and look forward to you jumping online to GeoSnapShot and uploading photos from your next event.